Yeah, it's your girl Esther Joy in this little box of the screen right here, looking at you, being with you. So, what is good, fam? Good to see you wherever you are tuning into. Hello. Now, it's another Mindset Monday, and Good Viber. As you know, we like to talk about love, light, joy, and peace on this channel. We like to spread these vibrations to the breeze, the trees, and everything that is above and below your knees. Ooh. So I wanted to talk about this concept of space because as we get closer to spring, we see the changes in the season. And I mean, the seasons are always changing, but specifically in spring, you see as the snow melts and the grass begins to grow a little bit longer, and the buds on the trees begin to be seen and peek out as the leaves and the flowers begin to bloom. This concept of space is really playing a big role. They're all pushing out of this nook and cranny of the stillness that was left in winter and opening up to really fully embrace the space that is theirs to embrace. And I wanted to just make this video to remind you that you are growing and that your soul is growing and that the space that you once took up is growing as well. Your comfort zone is also growing. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit, okay? And I guess, scared to be a butterfly reference, positioning for the book always, just in case you guys haven't gotten your copy yet. Pre-sale is still going on till the end of this month, so definitely check that out. I'll make sure that there's a link in the bio for you to get it. But yeah, actually, one of the questions within this book, we decided to do a little journal section. And one of the questions are, what makes you feel comfy and safe? And I think that this is very correlated to the concept of space. In a butterfly's life, this is the cocoon stage. And I feel like many of us are getting ready to get out of our cocoons, whatever that looks like. And I think we all know that it is not a comfy sensation when you're leaving your comfort space. It's not supposed to be. And it helps you grow. That's a part of the growth mindset. You have to be okay with change and going into the unknown and just allowing yourself to know what you didn't know and being okay with, not knowing at that moment. So I really wanted to make this video because I'm realizing this big theme of people are growing. They're tapping more into their mission, they're understanding why they're here, they're shining that light into their own lives, and the people around them and the situations around them are kind of trying to keep them within that box that they have been in. And it is through, the other side isn't bad for trying to keep them in that box or anything like that. That's no. But they're there to challenge you to see, like, are you really ready? And just like a butterfly, which comes out of the cocoon, has to do it themselves. You cannot help a butterfly get out of its own cocoon, because if you do that, it won't be able to actually push out and create the blood circulation in its wings necessary for their wings to be fully functional. So you do need the pressure in your life in order to really be on your mission, okay? It's not supposed to always be easy. If it was easy, I don't think many of us would be here. I think we like challenges. Maybe you like easy games, but I personally kind of like the games where I gotta grind a little bit, because then it's like, this is worth something. What is good, Isaiah? It's good to see you. So I wanted to take a moment to just acknowledge that you are growing, and the space that you're going to be taking up is going to be growing too. But there are other beings that we share this space with. We're not alone or isolated on Earth. We all share space, and we all are literally dwelling, sharing that space. We expand and we contract. It's a time where we are being led and a time where we lead. There's always going to be this polarization, and so it's really important for you to understand and respect the space of others for that to be reflected in your own journey. But most importantly, I feel like many people are expanding, and in spring, around this season, I feel like the energy picks up. It gets really fast because, again, like literal, I won't say friction, but this concept of friction, because things are moving so quickly, happens a lot. And so you have to have patience as you're growing into the space that you're here to take up. You are not alone. There are others, and their spaces are growing as well. I think that we could use this concept of maybe, as a child grows, they take up more space literally. Like as babies, we didn't take up as much space, okay? We probably got into a lot of places for free, the kids' meal was made for us. And then as we grew, we take up more space, more responsibility. Our expression becomes more refined. We connect more with our soul in a different level that is manifested and reflected in the different styles and tones and experiences that we have. And the space that we take up, it just grows. The space within other people's hearts, the memories, just everything grows. So allowing ourselves to be okay with this growth of space. You are here to take the space that is yours to take up in a respectful way. Again, you're sharing every bit of space with other beings. And so the more you are able to respect those beings and allow yourself at times to surrender that space in order for the harmony to take back like this balance, they will also surrender that space for you when it is needed. Just taking a breath, feeling that air. Take space is the main goal of today's weekly mindset shift, okay? The mission is to take space to feel things, take space to just be aware of your breath, really take account of what your comfort zone looks like. I think there's no negative or positive connotation with a comfort zone. It's just a place where we can retreat back and feel safe. And I think we all kind of want to grow our comfort zone because we want to feel safe wherever we go. And that's beautiful. But there are times where you're going to have to go through that uncharted land to really see and understand that concept of safety and what makes something feel safe for you. If that makes sense. Sometimes I'm not sure if what I say makes total sense, but that's okay. Hopefully you get the vibe I'm putting through, fam. Yeah. But most importantly, this week, I really feel like after reflecting on the past week, we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to grow, and we have to balance that growth with taking pauses, with allowing ourselves to nurture other parts of our being to grow, and also nurturing other beings that want to grow. Your growth does not mean somebody else is getting shrink or get smaller. But I truly believe that a support system that allows this equilibrium of give and take will allow the space to really expand in the best way. I don't think that we're all here, and I hear so much about expansion, and yes, we're expanding at the same time we're contracting, and it's all a balance. So being able to be okay with the space that you have and reflect, do you feel like you are growing in your space? Or do you feel like you're retreating back in your space? It's okay reflecting. I'm sure there are times where one is a little greater than the other. But it's so important to find that balance. Where do you really feel safe and comfy? Where is your comfort zone right now? I'm finding for myself for this past year or half year, I've been retreating back into a smaller comfort zone for myself. And I feel like I'm taking up less space than compared to last year, where I was doing a lot more, technically speaking, in terms of the space that I was taking up and interacting with other people. And in the same way, I feel like internally my space has grown. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with what is going on internally with me, being aware of maybe the triggers and the patterns and like why certain things happen the way that they do. I'm so thankful to be able to take that time to retreat back within myself and to expand internally and understand, what is me? Like what is in my heart that wants to come out? And so as we start to see this beautiful growth come through, this concept of your seed that you've planted is now taking root and growing within you, and it's expanding to the external reality. What is good, Beat Mamit? It's good to see you, cuz we gotta be aware of how, how we're allowing the space to unfold. I think the beautiful thing is that you don't have to force anything in space. You can't force space. Maybe you can, but I doubt that that's a good idea. It's pretty nice to just be aware that whether you're creating more space for yourself internally at this time to explore your internal metrics, your emotions, your thoughts, or if you're expanding your space externally to your loved ones, the people that you spend time with, the activities that you do, allowing yourself to just be aware. I do believe that you're going to continue growing. And I do believe that this is just the beginning of growth wherever you are. And as we go through this equilibrium of expansion and contraction, that you give yourself the space to just be. Just be. You are okay. You are okay. You were given this space. You were given this awareness. You're just watching this video because you wanted a reminder that you are. You just are. You are. You hold the space that you need to do everything that you want to do. You really do. Allow yourself to be true to this. Allow yourself to really expand and to think about those goals that you have for yourself. Now is not the time to shrink back. But if you do shrink back, then look within and see what's going on there and sort it out. It's okay. And you'll see that naturally you'll just expand outwardly, and that your comfort zone is going to expand. And that just every aspect of your being, which once you may have thought was limited by something, is also going to expand. And the people around you at this time, again, I feel like there's a lot of friction because of this expansion. We see that it can make people feel like, oh no, they're expanding in a place that I don't feel comfortable with, or they're expanding upon my energy in some way. And we have to acknowledge that we're all connected and that we all share this space in this timeline on Earth together. Our breaths are all cycling through, and if it wasn't for the plants, we probably would have all suffocated each other. So be aware that you are sharing this space with other people. Be respectful of that and allow yourself to expand in a beautiful, harmonious way. This is going to require you to be okay with at times taking a step back to really see what's going on before you lunge forward. You are expanding, and that mission that you are here to do is coming through. That vision that you've been thinking about or writing about, journaling about, making vision boards for, it's coming, and you have to be prepared to be uncomfy. You have to be prepared to be uncomfy and make other people uncomfy. When I started this journey and when I really started tapping into my soul and understanding what I'm here to do and connecting more deeply with what was resonant within my being, it made my family really uncomfy. And they told me, like, yo, you are different. You are different. And to me, I felt a joy from being different, from actually being able to realize this part of myself that wanted to come through and to change some of those old patterns. But to them, it was threatening because it wasn't something that they were used to. And it's okay. It is okay. Again, you are sharing this space with other people. They were able to reflect that difference to me that I probably wouldn't have noticed because I'm in it. And that's why we love and respect people, because they're going to let us know the boundaries of our expansion in this time, when we should take a moment to retreat back. And it'd be after that situation with my family, and they kind of expressed, almost the pushing of the boundaries on this change. And they assisted me in actually realizing, like, hey, before I go and just continue to expand and tell the world of this different me, let me see what actually has changed within my being and what is causing me to just act differently. What is within my soul that's really wanting to come out? And so it's important to have a moment where you're expanding, again, internally as much as externally. It's important to realize where the people in your environment are coming coming from and what their mission and purpose is in correlation to your own. Every single person has a mission. Whether we know what that is or not, it doesn't take away from the fact that their mission is as important and sacred as yours, because we're all sharing this timeline on Earth again. We're all created for a reason. We all have a purpose. Yes, the people in your life have a purpose as well, okay? And I don't know what that purpose is because I don't know your whole life story, fam. Unless you want to share it, unless you want to share it, email us scaredtobebutterfly@gmail.com, okay? Share your story. Share your story, but, all right, we're done with the promotions today. But yeah, again, you are creating this space for you to inhabit, and it does require you to feel uncomfy, and also you're gonna probably make other people uncomfy. With everything happening and with all the pressure that's being put on society in so many ways, be okay with being uncomfy and making other people uncomfy as well. The more that you can be alright with the changes that are constantly happening, the chaotic parts of the world, the more you will be in harmony with the kind of expansion the world throws at you. You can't really choose how you're going to expand. You can only choose. You can't really choose how you're going to expand. You can only choose what you get from that expansion. Like, I'm almost getting this membrane idea, like you're in a membrane and you may see things around you that you want. And as you reach, you're really straining that membrane and it's pushing back on you. But you're eventually going to reach that thing, and then you're going to realize, like, I can't actually get it inside of my membrane field. And then you're going to have to go within yourself. You're going to have to do a little work in order to shift the reception of your membrane so that it can receive whatever it is that you are wanting on the external. And then naturally, whatever was on the external will be able to float into your membrane. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure you guys all did a little bit of biology and yeah, and auras. Yeah, it all connects. Okay, that's good, Beat My Meat, and you should look in the mirror. I think that, honestly, and this is just something that I think will help you, fam, looking in the mirror in your own eyes. And I remember I've had dreams about looking myself in the mirror and talking to okay, anyways, look yourself in the mirror, and that's it, period. Just look yourself in the mirror. Nah. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself these questions. Where am I expanding? What does it feel like? What is going on within me? Where am I expanding? What does it feel like? What is going on within me? Those are the questions, okay? Again, where are you expanding? What does it feel like? And what's going on within you? Asking yourself these questions, you don't have to look in a mirror, to ask yourself these questions, but I do feel like it will help the telepathic bond within your own soul to your body, and understanding that your flesh is just a temporary place for you to exist in this moment, in this life, where we can perceive and just sense all the things around us. And if you're really wanting to understand the expansion you're here to experience, it's important to ask yourself these questions. Write them down and to be silent with yourself for a moment to acknowledge it. If your soul isn't attracting eye contact, maybe it wants to look somewhere else. Yeah, man, look at your hand if you want to, or look at a tree. Trees can tell you lots of things. I think about it, how their branches just continue to grow. And I don't think, there are some people that cut down their trees or to prune them and trim them, and sometimes I think energetically we do need to prune and trim our own energy so it doesn't expand out of the wild, because let's be honest, we all have certain energies that we'd probably rather not let them expand, and so we have to be aware of where we need to cut back some of that energy. And again, I feel like people, the environment around you actually assists in allowing you to understand the boundaries put in place of what, a good expansion looks like and what maybe a negative expansion looks like, and where you need to cut back and where you can step forward. So again, your space is sacred, and every single breath that you take think about the idea of just space and time, and that's the whole concept of the reality that we live in. Your space is sacred. The time that you have here is sacred. You deserve to just appreciate and get the most out of your life because God has given it to you. And it's up to you to figure out what you can do with the time while you're here and how you can use your space. I'm getting a lot more comfy, like just sharing light language on the fly. And I know that this is something that, as I expand into this space of just like sharing more of what is on my heart and using sounds beyond words, I need to understand that there are going to be people that are going to push back. Like, that's obviously a part of expanding and being true to yourself and your soul and to discovering, you know, your own being and what you're here to do. So having compassion and understanding that the souls that may be pushing against your space of expansion are really there to help strengthen you and to show what direction you should expand in, okay? You can either look at it, and I feel like there are two forms of resistance to taking up more space. Okay, hi in light language, hi. Hi. Hello, like, it really depends on what kind of greeting, like what the energy behind and what the intention of the, and hello, yeah. So that was just a like, tap into your heart, okay? Be aware of your heartbeat. I'm acknowledging it with you, and I'm acknowledging the space in which we both exist. Does hate ever get to me? Sheesh, woo. Does hate ever get to me? No, I feel bad for my haters because they have that in their heart, and that's a sickness. Get well soon. You know, those plants, again, and I think this is important, and I appreciate you for bringing it up. When you're expanding your space, you already know you're gonna get more hate, and that's literally someone pushing on your boundaries, and that's okay. That's just showing you what direction you should go, and not in that direction, in the other direction, okay? Like, that's it. For me, hate also allows me to understand that it's a reflection of myself. Usually when somebody's hating something, I can, you know, if it gets to me, that's because on some level I resonate with what they said, and I need to acknowledge that. I need to retreat within my own being, and I need to see, hey, you know, that truth that they may have shared within that hate, you know, what hurt about that? What do I need to acknowledge and accept? Because ultimately I can only be who I am. I can only express the soul that is within me and the truth that is here and present. So hate, in a way, it has helped me understand my own being more, and it's a great way, it's a great practice for healing. Mostly just healing the other soul and the perception you have of that being for presenting that hate. Again, I used to work at a pool as a lifeguard, and it was a town pool, and it was pretty rough. Like, you know, we had our local gang that came through and whatnot. It was just wild. It was a wild time. So I wasn't surprised if sometimes, you know, telling people to do basic things to keep their selves safe and, you know, enjoy the pool without drowning so I don't have to go in and save them would result in them getting offended or sharing blatant insults at my face because they are not happy with what I have to say. I remember I told one beautiful woman saying that, because that's the words that are coming through, that she couldn't swim in a certain area of the pool because people were diving there. And yeah, she was very mad at me when I reminded her again that she has to leave that area of the pool, and she totally like cursed me out in words I've never even heard before and never heard again, but they came out of her mouth like a river flowing. And I was just kind of sitting there like, wow, I didn't know somebody could like say all of those words in one sentence, but she did it. I wasn't really bitter by that kind of throw of hate because I think it was more frustration on her end, and maybe like the only reason she knew those words is probably because they're a part of her experienced reality in some way. So I didn't feel any type of way. I just like acknowledged that, yikes, I almost felt sorry for her. You know, if that is what is within your heart and that's what you're expanding upon. So yeah, you just forgive, you allow yourself to grow into the place that you want to grow into, and take the haters shit as, you could say, fertilizer for your own plants. So yeah, that's what I will say on that. It's really important to acknowledge that you're always gonna have haters. You're always gonna have people that are going to go against whatever you're expanding into, however you're expressing yourself, whatever truth you are sharing. There are always going to be haters. Even though I'm like sharing about love, light, joy, and peace, there are gonna be people that hate me because lots of reason they could hate me and get triggered. Okay, lots of reason. Does that mean that I'm going to stop expanding because I don't want to hurt their feelings? No. And this is so important and a big life lesson I think we all should learn, that it's okay to know, to hurt, not it's okay to hurt people's feelings. All right, no, all right, I don't want anybody bullying anyone and being like, ha, Esther said it was okay for me to fuck up your life. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's okay to be okay with not pleasing people. It's okay to hurt people when it's necessary and in the kindest way possible. Like, and I don't say go up and punch someone, but like if somebody is coming at you and you gotta swing at them, like know when to roll, you know when to roll your punches, know when to hold back. You should never be the first one to go out to hurt anybody. But if somebody is saying something that you know is hurting them or can hurt them because of the words that they are manifesting, then you know, Isaiah, I didn't say bully people. Please don't take those words from my mouth like that. I did say, but you know what I meant. We're not here to do that, okay? Bully them with kindness if you're gonna bully them, okay? Bully them with love. Bully them with sending subconscious messages of, I understand that you are a human and I am too, and we're both suffering in ways that we can't even understand, and I appreciate you for being alive even though I don't understand why you are projecting this kind of hurtful vibration my way. But I accept it and understand that you're on a mission and I'm on a mission, and I'm going to use this energy to assist me with my mission. Okay, done. Alright, so yeah, it's important to allow yourself to expand. Know that as you expand, you're gonna offend people. I'm sure that there are people I know that are honestly like, ooh, what is she doing? Like, ooh, yikes, she should stop doing that, because honestly, it's probably because they probably themselves feel like they should be doing it, and they're not. And it's offensive when they see somebody else doing it. And that's okay. That's okay. This is the whole idea, that you really can't care about hurting people's feelings, because feelings are temporary. I'm not saying like go out and just hurt everybody's feelings for no reason, no. But sometimes you gotta hear the truth. Sometimes you really gotta hear the truth, and the truth hurts. The truth hurts. That's okay. That's okay. That's why I don't get mad at my haters, and I don't really feel like I get caught up with my haters, but I really try to see the truth in what they're saying and see within myself how I can best navigate and correct and amplify the strengths of the truth that I'm wanting to share with the world and within myself. So yeah, your space is sacred, and it's okay if people diss it. All right, that means that they're dissing a part of their own space, and maybe you need to go within, and that's a calling and a sign for you to go within and really see what you're receiving and what you're allowing within your space. So feeling people have resistance, hate to people, spreading love is pretty saddening. Yeah, it is saddening, and that's why I don't really feel like the hate gets to me, because I understand that anybody that comes from that vibration is already coming from a place where they have not opened themselves to love. They haven't opened their, you could say, metamorphic, like their aura to that concept of receiving love or receiving certain vibrations that I'm sharing in my space. So when our spaces come together and they start to collide, there's going to be some friction there, because they're not wanting to receive that kind of energy. And the more I expand or the more they expand, the more resistance is going to be present. And that's okay. It's really a part of life that is sacred as life itself. Okay, Thanks, Nando. I appreciate it. But there are always gonna be haters. I've got people, I've had, people say that I'm a devil worshiper. I've had Christian TikTokers just warn other Christian people about me. And I've had, people say I'm fake. And then I realized, like, yo, thank you. Because a part of me needs to acknowledge that I'm receiving this for a reason. It's in my aura for a reason. As I'm expanding, I need to be aware of this for a reason. And so it assists me ultimately in understanding what my triggers are and understanding how I can best navigate through my triggers and what I'm here to serve, who I'm here to serve, and what that looks like. I think that the pain that a lot of haters bring, there's a lot of truth in what your mission is here to do. And that the haters have only helped me know where to expand more. Like, they have helped me know where to expand more. Of like, okay, that's great. I understand. I'm gonna meditate and see what was true. And sometimes there's nothing true that they say, and that's okay. That's okay. But acknowledging that there's gonna be times where your space is expanding, and when it's expanding from all areas, you can't really control where it's gonna bump into other disharmonious energy. And so the best that you can do is adjust your own internal receptor field so that externally you know that your aura is receiving the energy that you want. It's a blessing. You really, like, life is really, really cool. And it's so simple to be able to adjust your aura's receptive field so that you can receive more of what you want as you're expanding, and even using the hate in a way that is assisting you with your expansion. Like, if we didn't have hate and we just expanded all over the place, I feel like we get tired of expanding real fast and we wouldn't really have a direction of where we should expand to. And yeah, go for love. Forgive the haters, because honestly, they're not even, it's not personal. It's 100% of the time, I'll say 99% of the time, it's not personal. They're coming from a place that they gotta do their own work, and whatever comes into their field may trigger them to hopefully go with inward. A lot of the times, haters, the reason they do that is because externally they get triggered and they want to, like, try to patch up their aura and what they're receiving outside. But you have to go within first. And this is the importance of having space for yourself and space to appreciate with other people. You are a human being. I think we all can agree we like to vibe with people. I like to vibe with people. I love people. I think they are amazing creatures. And I'm looking forward to connecting with more of them and just giving them big hugs in the future and now. And yeah, so with that being said, take space for yourself. Let's take a breath together. Yeah, you are here. You know what you're here to do. Continue to grow. Continue to expand. Know that people are going to push against your boundaries, and respect that, because they're honestly just showing you how far you have expanded. So, you want to say I love you, Beat Bum Meat. So I would be reflecting back what you said, Beat Bum Meat, if I said it in light language. So it would be kind of like, I don't know how to explain this, but it would be you saying that you want me to say that to you, if that makes sense. It would be like, yeah, something like that. Okay. Yeah, but for real, I appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take time and space to appreciate all the people that you spend time and space with. The more you can respect even the haters' space, the haters will have no choice but to respect you, because you have given them that reflection. And subconsciously, that's just how it is. So yeah, appreciate your time here on earth, enjoy the time spent, and just explore this time and space that you're in. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I do hope that this helped you as you continue throughout the week to really explore the space that you take up and how you interact with others in this space. Thank you so much again for just joining. I love you and I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next live. Namaste, God bless.